The room is quiet, so quiet that only the faint hum of a refrigerator can be heard. A notification appears on a phone screen. Someone liked your post. A tiny signal that you have been noticed. Someone sent a message. Somewhere, another mind has reached out to yours. Someone thought about you. For a brief moment, that simple fact feels meaningful. Your finger automatically reaches for the screen. For a fraction of a second, a subtle feeling appears. Warmth, a tiny spark of emotional reward. Satisfaction. Small, fleeting but real. Something that feels like happiness, and almost instantly, it disappears. The screen becomes just a screen again. The room becomes just a room again. But inside, a strange feeling remains, as if something has just been gained, and at the same time, something has somehow been lost. Most people believe happiness is the goal. It feels like the obvious destination of a successful life. The more happiness a person has, the better life becomes. At least, that's what most of us assume. It seems so obvious that hardly anyone questions it. But there is a problem hidden beneath one of humanity's most accepted beliefs. The deeper researchers studied the human brain, the more unexpected their discoveries became. The stranger the picture became. The closer they looked, the less happiness resembled what people imagined. It turned out happiness may not be what we think it is, and perhaps the most surprising thing about happiness is this: it can make people unhappy. Not intentionally, but through the way the brain is built, not metaphorically, literally. To understand why, we need to go far back, far beyond the modern world, long before cities existed, before nations existed, before writing existed. An age when humans were just another animal among millions of others. Imagine a small group of humans 40,000 years ago, surrounded by uncertainty every single day. The sun is almost gone beyond the horizon. The air grows colder. Darkness slowly takes control of the landscape. Somewhere in the distance, a branch snaps. Maybe it's the wind, or maybe a predator waiting in the shadows. No one knows. But uncertainty is exactly what matters. Because uncertainty keeps the mind alert. Today, many imagine ancient life as endless suffering, hunger, danger, disease. And that's true. Ancient life was often difficult and unforgiving. But there is one detail people often miss. Evolution never cared about happiness. Evolution only cared about survival. Survival was the only thing that mattered. Our brains were not designed to make us happy. They were designed to keep us alive. Everything else came second, which means happiness was never the system's final goal. It was a tool, a temporary reward, a lure, a way to keep the organism moving in the right direction. A biological incentive system. Found food, received pleasure. Found shelter, received pleasure. Built social connections, received pleasure. But the reward had to be brief, very brief. Because if an organism becomes completely satisfied, it stops searching, exploring, and adapting. It will stop moving, and in the wild, stillness quickly becomes death. That is why the brain created one of the most ingenious mechanisms in nature, and one of the cruelest at the same time: adaptation. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. Behind the complex term lies a simple idea. No matter what a person gets, eventually it becomes normal always, without exceptions. A new house becomes just a house. A new car becomes just a car. A promotion becomes just another position. A dream becomes background noise, and the brain begins looking forward again, searching, again, wanting again, feeling lack again. Most people believe the problem is not having enough happiness, that the solution is simply more success, more comfort, more achievement. But research increasingly suggests something else, a different possibility. The problem may lie not in the absence of happiness, but in the pursuit itself. Imagine a person spending their entire life chasing the horizon, a destination that always seems close enough to reach. He can see it ahead. Clear, visible, and constantly pulling him forward, he is certain he will reach it soon. Just a little more effort, and everything will finally fall into place. But with every step he takes, the horizon remains exactly where it was before, so he runs faster. Convinced that speed itself might be the answer, the horizon doesn't get any closer. It quietly moves with him. He begins to think the problem is himself. Maybe everyone else knows something he doesn't, that he isn't trying hard enough, that somewhere he should be doing more, that he isn't earning enough, that success is always one step higher, that he isn't improving enough, that he is still unfinished, that he isn't happy enough, and that perhaps happiness is the thing he is missing. And here, one of modern life's cruelest paradoxes appears. The harder we chase happiness, the more aware we become of its absence. The more a person makes happiness their main goal, the more attention they give to what is missing, the more they notice every moment when it isn't there, because attention works like a spotlight. Whatever it searches for becomes impossible to ignore. It illuminates whatever it searches for. Even things that once seemed insignificant, every sadness suddenly feels larger than before. Every anxiety feels more important than it really is. Every disappointment begins to look like evidence that something is wrong. What was once a normal part of life slowly starts feeling like a defect, like a malfunction that needs to be fixed, rather than an ordinary human experience. But the human mind was never built for permanent happiness. No system could sustain that forever, just as a heart was never meant to race at maximum speed every second of every day, or lungs to remain filled forever without ever breathing out. Every system survives through change. Stability comes from movement, not from permanence, highs and lows. Each one gives meaning to the other, tension and release. Without one, the other loses its value, loss and gain. Every gain is only meaningful because loss exists, light and shadow. One can only be seen because of the other, and happiness sometimes arrives the moment a person stops chasing it. The moment he finally turns away from the horizon, the light quietly finds its way back on its own.